What if I told you that thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, even late 80s have restored firm, powerful erections in just 7 days, without a single pill, prescription, or risky procedure? Sounds impossible, doesn't it? But it's not. In fact, the solution may already be sitting on your bathroom shelf or tucked away in your kitchen cabinet. I'm Dr. Mohit Kara, a men's health specialist with over 30 years of clinical experience helping men restore their energy, their performance, and their confidence. I've seen firsthand how erectile dysfunction can quietly rob a man of his identity, how it slowly eats away at his self-worth, his relationships, and even his desire to live fully. But what if I told you the real cause of ED in most older men isn't low testosterone or lack of desire? It's poor circulation, silent inflammation, and worn-out nerve pathways that have been neglected for far too long. The pharmaceutical industry wants you to believe that your only hope is a blue pill. But today, I'm going to show you something radically different, something ancient, time-tested, and backed by modern science. A simple oil massage protocol that restores blood flow, reactivates nerve sensitivity, and supports healthy testosterone, all from the outside in. And later in this video, I'll walk you through the exact 7-day plan I use with my own patients, combining 5 specific oils in a precise sequence for maximum effect. So stay with me, because what you're about to learn could change your life, your confidence, and your bedroom forever. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, so you never miss powerful, natural solutions to restore your vitality. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments to let me know. If not, type 0. Your feedback helps me serve you better. Now that you understand what's possible, let's uncover the truth behind why most men over 60 struggle with weak erections. And why the real problem isn't age or desire. It starts with something far more silent and more dangerous: declining blood flow and the slow shutdown of your body's natural vascular power. 1. The truth about erectile dysfunction after 60. Let me tell you something I've seen again and again in my office, and maybe it sounds familiar. A man in his late 60s walks in. He's strong, intelligent, sharp-minded, but behind his smile, there's something weighing him down. His eyes tell me what he can't quite say out loud. He feels like he's losing his manhood. He used to wake up with energy, with purpose, with that familiar signal that his body still worked the way it used to. But now, morning after morning, there's nothing. Just silence. A kind of quiet that starts to eat away at his confidence, his intimacy, even the way he sees himself in the mirror. He tries not to let it show. He tells himself it's just age, that it happens to every man. Maybe he even tries the blue pill, once, twice, a dozen times, but it feels like he's faking it. Because deep down, he knows the problem goes deeper than performance. It's not about sex, it's about connection, identity, vitality, being a man. And here's what I tell him every time: you are not broken, you are not past your prime, and no, this isn't just part of aging. What's really going on inside your body is something no one ever told you about, something fixable. As we age, our blood vessels stiffen. Our circulation slows. Tiny inflammatory molecules begin to clog the microscopic highways that once carried life into our most vital tissues. The nerves that used to fire like lightning begin to dim. And over time, without us noticing, the spark goes out. But here's the part that gives me hope, because I've seen it over and over again. That spark isn't gone, it's just buried. And with the right tools, the right method, the right support, it can come roaring back. So if you're still with me, let me show you the first oil that can quite literally wake your blood vessels up and shock your circulation back to life, because that's where the real healing begins. 2. Peppermint Oil, your circulation reboot. When I first started recommending peppermint oil to my older male patients, the reaction was almost always the same. "Wait, doc, you mean the stuff I put in my tea?" They'd chuckle, I'd smile, then I'd tell them to trust me and just try it. Because what they didn't realize is that peppermint oil, when used correctly, has the power to jumpstart blood flow in ways most medications can't even come close to. The magic lies in a compound called menthol. It's what gives peppermint that cool, tingly feeling. But inside your body, menthol does something extraordinary. It activates special receptors in your blood vessels that literally force them to open up, creating a rush of circulation to the areas that need it most, and not just temporarily. With regular use, this oil helps retrain your vascular system, making those tiny capillaries more responsive, more elastic, more alive. It's like cardio for your manhood without ever setting foot in a gym. I've had men come back just days after trying the protocol, shaking their heads in disbelief. One of them, a 72-year-old retired firefighter, looked at me with tears in his eyes. He said, "Doc, I haven't woken up like that in over a decade. I thought that part of me was gone." And yet, with just a few drops of peppermint oil mixed with a gentle carrier like coconut or jojoba, massaged in slow, circular motions, something shifted. The blood returned, the warmth came back, and with it, the confidence. But a word of caution here. Peppermint oil is potent. Always dilute it, never apply it directly, and start small. 2 drops is plenty in the beginning. The goal is not to burn, it's to wake things up, gently, consistently. Do it in the evening, before bed, when your body is preparing to heal. Over time, this becomes more than just a massage. It becomes a ritual, one that reminds your body how it used to function and invites it to come back to life. And if peppermint oil helps ignite that spark. The next oil I'll share with you helps fuel the fire from deep within by restoring the very hormone that made you feel like a man in the first place. 3. Ginseng Oil, the natural testosterone amplifier. There's something about ginseng that's always fascinated me. Long before we had labs, prescriptions, or hormone panels, ancient healers were already using it as a symbol of male strength, stamina, and longevity. And now, modern science is finally catching up, showing us that this root, especially in its oil form, may hold the key to one of the most important pieces of male vitality: testosterone. I remember one of my patients, Paul, a 67-year-old Vietnam vet. He came to me not just because his erections were weaker, but because he felt different, tired, flat, like someone had turned down the volume on his masculinity, and I knew exactly what was happening. His testosterone had slowly faded, not overnight, but over decades. It wasn't gone, just asleep. And what ginseng oil does, when used the right way, is help wake it up. The active compounds in ginseng, called ginsenosides, are like tiny messengers. They signal your body to produce more free testosterone, your most active, usable form of the hormone. But it's not just about boosting numbers. Ginseng oil reminds your endocrine system how to function the way it did when you were 30. It doesn't force your body, it retrains it. That's the beauty of it. To apply it, you mix 4 to 5 drops with a tablespoon of a good carrier oil. Morning is best, 30 minutes after waking, when your testosterone is already trying to peak. The technique is deliberate. Long, firm strokes from base to tip, holding pressure for a few seconds each time. Don't rush. This is not just about arousal, it's about alignment, about honoring the process of rebuilding what time has eroded. Within weeks, men tell me they feel more alive, not just in bed but all day. More energy, better sleep, clearer focus. It's like flipping on the power to parts of themselves they thought were long gone. And if ginseng works like a coach for your hormones, the next oil works like jumper cables for your nerves, because sometimes the body remembers, but the signals don't quite reach their destination. That's when things really get interesting. 4. Rosemary Oil, awakening the sleeping nerves. I'll never forget the moment one of my patients, Tom, 71, looked at me and said, "Doc, I'm not just struggling to stay hard, I barely feel anything at all." That hit me hard, because behind that simple sentence was a deeper truth that most men are too embarrassed to admit. Yes, blood flow matters. Yes, hormones matter. But there's another piece of this puzzle no one talks about: nerve sensitivity. As we age, the electrical wiring that once made pleasure instant and powerful starts to fade, like an old radio losing its signal. But what if you could tune it back in? That's exactly what rosemary oil helps you do. Most people think of it as a cooking herb, something to sprinkle on chicken or potatoes. But rosemary oil, pure, concentrated, applied directly to the skin, has a remarkable ability to reactivate nerves that have gone quiet over time. The key lies in two powerful compounds, rosmarinic acid and camphor. Together, they increase nerve conduction velocity, or in plain terms, they help your nerves fire faster and more clearly. Even more exciting, they promote neurogenesis, the regrowth of brand new nerve endings. In other words, rosemary oil doesn't just wake up old pathways, it builds new ones. To use it, mix 3 to 4 drops with a light carrier like jojoba oil, then apply using the gentlest feather-light touch, not firm pressure, not friction, just a whisper across the skin, especially along the underside where the most sensitive nerves lie. Think of it as an invitation, not a command. A signal that pleasure is welcome again. The best time? About 2 hours before intimacy. Give it time to work beneath the surface. Many of my patients say they begin to feel more alive within days, more reactive to touch, more connected to their own bodies, and more present with their partners. It's not just about restoring function, it's about restoring feeling. But what if the real block to pleasure isn't just in the nerves or hormones, but something deeper, something clogging your system at the source? The next oil doesn't just support performance, it clears out what's been holding you back for years. 5. Castor Oil, clearing out the hidden blockages. Now this one might surprise you. Castor oil. Yes, the same thick golden oil your grandmother may have used as a remedy for constipation. But what most people don't know is that when used the right way, topically, gently, and with intention, castor oil becomes one of the most powerful healing tools for male sexual function, especially in men over 60. I've seen it do things most medications couldn't even begin to touch, because it doesn't just treat symptoms, it goes deeper into the tissues, into the inflammation, into the blockages that have been quietly building for years. You see, many men walk around with chronic low-grade inflammation in the pelvic region, caused by stress, poor diet, aging, even sitting for hours every day. That inflammation acts like rust in your plumbing. It narrows the blood vessels, stiffens the tissue, and clogs the lymphatic flow, the body's internal garbage disposal system. Over time, this toxic buildup slowly chokes off the circulation your erections depend on, and that's where castor oil comes in. Its primary compound, ricinoleic acid, penetrates deep into the skin and melts away that internal rust. But that's not all. It also stimulates your lymphatic system to flush out toxins and waste trapped in your pelvic floor. I often recommend what's known as a castor oil pack. It's simple, soothing, and deeply restorative. You warm the oil slightly, apply a small amount directly to the lower abdomen and groin, then place a warm, damp cloth over the area for 15 to 20 minutes. No massage, no pressure. Just rest and let the healing begin. Some of my patients like to do it while reading, others during their evening routine. What they all say is the same: I feel lighter down there, clearer, less blocked. And within a week or two, many start noticing firmer erections and a return of that deep internal energy they thought had left for good. But what if I told you there's one final oil, an ancient remedy that doesn't just support circulation or nerve health or hormones, it does all three, and it does it from the inside out. If you're ready for the crown jewel of this entire protocol, keep watching. This is the one you won't want to miss. 6. Black seed oil, the crown jewel of hormonal recovery. If there's one oil I could recommend to every man over 60, without hesitation, it would be black seed oil. This isn't some trendy supplement or health store fad. This is a remedy that's been used for over 3,000 years, mentioned by ancient healers, and revered in cultures across the Middle East, Asia, and Africa. They called it the cure for everything but death. And when it comes to restoring masculine vitality, I've found that black seed oil lives up to the legend, and then some. The power lies in a compound called thymoquinone, a potent antioxidant and hormone modulator. What makes black seed oil so special is that it doesn't just patch things up, it goes to the root, It repairs the actual cells in your body that produce testosterone. It recalibrates your stress response by lowering cortisol, the hormone that steals your drive and shrinks your masculinity from the inside out. And it boosts your body's ability to create nitric oxide, which improves circulation, blood pressure, and, yes, erection quality. I've had men who were convinced they were beyond help come back after a few weeks of using black seed oil and say, "Doc, I feel like a switch flipped inside me." Here's how you use it. Internally, take 1 teaspoon of cold-pressed black seed oil each morning on an empty stomach, ideally between 6 and 8 a.m., when your testosterone is naturally primed to rise. Then, in the evening, apply a few drops topically with a carrier oil and massage it into the lower abdomen and pelvic area. Use steady, firm strokes. Not rushed, not mechanical. Think of it as restoring a lost connection between you and your body, between you and the man you used to be. With consistent use, most men report more energy, sharper focus, better sleep, and yes, stronger, more reliable erections. But what really stands out is how they feel in their own skin again, grounded, proud, alive. And now that you've seen all 5 oils, you're probably wondering, how do I use them together? How do I time it? How do I make this a real routine? Well, in just a moment, I'll walk you through the exact 7-day oil protocol that's helped thousands of men transform their performance naturally, safely, and powerfully. Let's put it all together. Conclusion. This ancient oil massage restores your erections at any age. If you've made it this far, I want to take a moment to speak to you, not as a doctor, but as a man who spent decades listening to other men just like you. I know what it feels like to watch your body change with age. I know the quiet frustration, the private shame, the sense that something vital has slipped through your fingers. And I also know what it feels like to fight back, to reclaim your strength, your presence, your fire. What you've just learned isn't theory. It's not hype. It's the culmination of ancient healing wisdom and modern science. And more than that, it's hope. Each oil we've explored together today has a specific role to play. Peppermint to restore blood flow, ginseng to reactivate testosterone, rosemary to reawaken your nerves, castor oil to cleanse out the years of hidden inflammation, and black seed oil, the crown jewel, to rebuild your foundation from the inside out. None of these oils are miracles on their own, but when used together, in the right sequence, with the right intention, they form a system, a ritual, a path back to yourself. I've seen it change lives, and not just in small ways. I've seen marriages rekindled, depression lifted, confidence restored. I've seen men who thought they were done with intimacy rediscover what it means to feel fully alive in their own skin again. So here's what I want you to know. Your story isn't over. It's not too late. Your body is still listening. Your heart still wants more. And now, for the first time in a long time, you have the tools to make that happen, naturally, safely, and with dignity. Start small. Be consistent, trust the process, and don't let anyone, especially not yourself, convince you that your best years are behind you. They're not. They're waiting. So take this knowledge, take action, and give your body the chance to show you what it can still do. You'll be amazed at what happens when you finally stop masking the problem and start healing it from the root.